Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. We are finishing up challenge mode for Revenge of the Sith. So the first thing we're going to do is select a ghost character, because we all know what's in this level, and then enter well, technically we've already entered it. It's time for Defense of Kashyyyk. So let the frames drop once again. I don't know what it is about this section right here that causes frames to drop. I mean, it is very slight, but still, it's annoying. And we got a new character this time around. We got Admiral Akbar with us. I love his running animation, but we'll get a bit more into... He's mostly like a blaster character, but with one important difference that we will get into later on. Okay, so Defense of Kashyyyk is one of the lengthiest levels from LEGO Star Wars 1. I'd say this, along with Escape from Naboo and Retake the Palace. And this is why I chose the Ghost character, because there are so many enemies in this level, mainly the beach section. The problem is, there is one point in this level where I do have to backtrack a bit, because I completely forgot that I need my partner character at one point, and he's stuck taking care of the enemies, unable to progress because I didn't make the platforms appear. That's not until the end of the level, the bit with the rolling rocks. And it probably helps if I actually activate these things first. Somehow that lowers the bridge on the other side. I don't get how that works. 1600 plot holes right there. You can't see me. Just attack Admiral Akbar. Yep, just keep attacking him. It's a trap! I think it is anyway. Does this count as a trap? And that's where I was not expecting it. So Admiral Akbar has the diving attack like several other blaster characters. The difference being is that his diving maneuver actually works a bit more like a double jump. And I don't know what happened there. So in addition to doing the standard dive, he actually gains a considerable amount of extra height when he does the dive. I don't know why it's limited to just him. I don't know how Admiral Akbar, of all characters, is the one that's able to do that, because let's face it, Admiral Akbar, not exactly the smallest of Star Wars characters. And he looks identical to like the other 2 or 3 of them that are in the ship with him. They couldn't. I know he's the same species. I know they're the same species, but they couldn't make them look a little bit different. There was literally at least three Admiral Akbars. Now, Admiral Akbar is a character that's another one that's very popular, and I just don't see why. You know, mostly he's popular for it's a trap. I mean, personally, I don't even see what's so special about that line. It's like, yeah, it's a trap. Clearly. We've already been aware of that for some time. The Emperor already told us that. I don't see what's so special about the line. And I really don't see what's so special about Admiral Akbar. It's like, I didn't really care when he died in The Last Jedi. Just because I didn't care for Admiral Akbar. He wasn't bad, you know, he was a nice guy, I think. You know, he came out of nowhere for starters. It's like, where was he during A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back? He just suddenly appears in Return of the Jedi. And and then after he's done with the presentation thing, he sits in a chair. And that is all that he then does, and just does the same thing that Lando Calrissian is doing. He's just leading the rebellion. Yeah, this guy actually followed me in his walker this time. Concentrate all fire on that Superstar Destroyer. Or something like that. Something of the sort. I just don't see what's so special about Admiral Akbar. But he's still a better character than Boba Fett. I will still never understand the love for Boba Fett. Especially compared to Snoke. Snoke is a much better character than Boba Fett ever was. In the films anyway. Again, I don't count the expanded universe because it's not the films. The films are the core part. Everything important should be in the films. The expanded universe, or the legends, whatever you want to call it, canon or not canon, can just do their own thing. They don't matter. And see, this is where I got a bit ahead of myself. So I decided to use Captain Tarpals to get up to this mini kit that's just up here and then continue on. Thing is, my partner character doesn't get the idea to do that. Yeah, he's not good for taking out the boulders. So I get up here, and then I realise, oh wait, I need somebody else on the switch. So I have to jump back down. Can't break my legs because I'm already dead. And then I have to take out all of the clone troopers to take out these plants, and then Admiral Akbar can finally get up here. Or my partner character, whoever he chooses to be. So now we gotta make our way past these boulders. Where were these in Revenge of the Sith? No, Indiana Jones would be running away from the boulder. And we have in Lego Indiana Jones now anyway, 2 of them. I don't know why they felt the need to make 2 when... Isn't Lego Indiana Jones 2? It still has you go through the first 3 films. It's just the levels are now different and it includes Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I believe that's what it does. What a pointless game that sounds like. Anyway, that's Defensive Kashyyyk. The level is so much easier when you're just a ghost and you can go past everything. Because that's just something I think that LEGO Star Wars 1 does better than 2. There are plenty of segments in LEGO Star Wars 1 where you can just go past everything. You don't need to fight the enemies. It's a lot harder to go through when you don't fight the enemies, especially when it's like in a droid factory with all the Geonosians. Now, they're going to keep shooting you from behind, so you pretty much have to fight them. You don't have to. In some cases, you might just have to take out specific enemies, like in Defensive Kashyyyk. There was that part we had to take out the. Well, no, actually, we could have just skipped them as well. We could have just kept going. If you're playing free play mode, okay, you probably are going to have to take everything out. But not in story mode. You can skip most of these sections. It's annoying that we have an area where, well, 2 areas where the enemies infinitely respawn. But one of them is right at the end, and the other is a pain. Compared to LEGO Star Wars 2, where, yeah, some fights are skippable, but a good chunk of them, you have to fight wave upon wave of enemies, and there's just so many of them. It's just, you take out a whole load of stormtroopers and then suddenly there's more stormtroopers. Like, oh, just end already. Because you're just doing the same thing again and again and again. And this is where I messed up. So let's try that again. Again with the cemetery grim. I don't know. That's what I think. I don't even think that's why I always say, let's try that again. That's not how he says it in that episode of Billy and Mandy. So I thought I'd use some of the Jedi characters again from this point. So this time we have Shaak Ti, a character that has been killed at least like 3 times. So in a deleted scene for Revenge of the Sith, she is killed by Grievous. I don't know how she got on Grievous' ship, but she was killed by Grievous. I think there was another point where she dies as well. Here in LEGO Star Wars, we see it's Anakin that kills her. I can't remember what the other way it was. What the other way I saw was now. She gets no luck. Let's just say that she gets no luck. Ahsoka was much better. Ahsoka's much better. So I wonder why they even bothered with Shaak Ti. Granted, in the films, the Jedi don't do anything. So the only Jedi with any sort of significance that aren't the main characters in the prequels are Yoda and Mace Windu. Luminara is just there, Kit Fisto is just there, Shaak Ti is just there, Ki-Adi Mundi is just there, Plo Koon is just there. We see there's a female Yoda, Yaddle. She disappears after the Phantom Menace. None of them speak. So why are they even here? You know, you're going to introduce all of these Jedi. I'd like to see something about them. And the Clone Wars does that quite well. We have episodes. We have an episode that focuses on Kit Fisto. We have some where we have like Anakin and Obi-Wan teaming up with Ki-Adi-Mundi, or teaming up with Luminara Unduli. And her Padawan Barriss Offee, who I think she appears very briefly early on in Attack of the Clones, I think. But like Luminara herself, she never says anything. And in the Clone Wars, she was turned into a bad guy. And we never... And I really feel like they should have done something with Luminara during that storyline. They never did anything. It's just, oh yeah, Barriss is evil now. We gave you a ton of clues on the way. She's walking past and looks in the cell. She's the only other person that's in contact here. It's pretty obvious who it is. I hope she wasn't anywhere in Return of the Jedi. in Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, because otherwise this is really awkward. I think she was supposed to be. I think there was some sort of version of her being killed with Luminara on. I want to say it was Kashyyyk, actually. I never paid attention to see if there are any other Jedi on Kashyyyk other than Yoda. And I will also never understand what it is that the clones have that the droids haven't, that they're capable of killing Jedi. Like Plo Koon and the Starfighter, okay, I can believe that, but some of the others, like Ki-Adi-Mundi, if he can take out the droids, why can't he do the same with the clones? Clones are more intelligent, yes, but they're not doing anything different, they're just shooting. If they can deflect the shots of destroyer droids, surely they can do it with everything else. I don't know. I'm not an expert in lightsabers. I mean, we've seen Jedi killed by droids, especially in Attack of the Clones. We had the aptly named, in the Clone Wars, the aptly named Jedi Master Die. He was killed by battle droids. So, yeah, it happens, but it doesn't happen very often. Yeah, this part's this part's boring. I really hate this part of the level, especially when you have to keep watching it, you know. When you're playing the level, this isn't too bad, but when you're trying to do it for a Let's Play and recording over it, this section, you get so tired of it. On the plus side, I only have to do it the one time. On the plus side, I only have to go into there one time. I don't need to worry about much else. This section is a lot easier to do, even though that is the wrong one. See, boss, you don't have the dive of Admiral Akbar. You just don't. This part's annoying because these ones don't stay out very long. And I don't know why I don't just switch to my partner character. Probably would have saved some time. No, don't walk off the edge. Oh god, I wish next door would turn that TV down just for once. I don't know why they have to have it so loud. I've not known the microphone to pick it up unless you can hear it. Yeah, by all means guys, just ignore me. Unless you can hear it on, like, when you have your headphones on at max volume, in which case why do you have your headphones on at max volume? Then maybe you can hear it. But yeah, they have it really loud and they'll keep having it on like that until like 2 in the bloody morning. It's like, why? Sometimes I can make out the film. I've been able to make out when they're watching. I don't know which Harry Potter it was, but I could hear the theme playing. I've been able to make out when they're watching Infinity War, and they like Infinity War. In fact, they must have. I think they watched it like 3 times after it came out on DVD. I mean, yeah, the internet is obsessed with Infinity War. I prefer Black Panther. Infinity War was fine. It was good. I just felt it was a bit too clustered for me. Too many characters. Didn't quite seem as focused. Thanos was good. Everything else, some of it was alright. I wish there was like a no shit Sherlock moment between Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch. Some characters I felt were very underutilized. I mean, they always were. Like War Machine, Falcon, Vision, they're all quite underutilized. But anyway, Darth Vader. So right off the bat we have a very annoying one at the beginning of the level where unless you are super quick, I think you are going to die when you go after that blue canister, because they decided to place it behind you and the level is immediately falling down. Really not the best placement. But a lot of the blue canisters are in the same locations as the white ones, like that one there. The one in here. The ones in the lava area. Yep. And the lava area is just as much of a pain here as it was before, because again, there's so many explosions you can't see where you're going. Those aren't in LEGO Star Wars 1. They made it harder to see on the most difficult part of the level. Whose idea was that? They should be fired. Come on. If it was it the same person that made, were they involved in Crash for Insanity in any way? In which case they should definitely be fired. What do you mean they made these levels in Math of Cortex? No, I'm ignoring you. This is where I kept misjudged. This is where I kept running into this. Yeah, and there I died. So this is Ayla Secura. I think I played as her in one level before. Again, she's not important in the films. We see her death. Well, we don't. Technically, we don't. We see her like get shot to the ground, and then we see that she's getting shot multiple times. Like, I'm pretty sure she's dead, guys, but that happens like underneath the plant. And she does appear in some episodes of the Clone Wars where they crash land on a planet full of ring-tailed lemurs. That was a weird storyline. I mean, the actual storyline was really just your typical separatists are invading story, but why are the inhabitants ring-tailed lemurs? And not a single one of them wants to move it, I can't see, and I swear it makes the frame rate drop at times as well. Which I'm not surprised. So now I have to... Again, I can't seem to get up to get to that island just by hovering. So come up here, let the rock fall down a bit, and then just keep a hold of that jump button. As long as you keep a hold of it, R2 can still get a bit more distance as he's falling. He'll lose the height, but he'll keep going forwards. And you can just about make it. But that's it for the prequels with challenge mode. Now the levels are going to start getting bigger. And I mean it, they increased the time limit for some of the levels. Like Mos Eisley Spaceport and Through the Jungle and Waste, they ramped up to 12 minutes. And Through the Jungle and Waste is quite a long level. Let's say that. It really, I was going to say it really didn't matter for Mos Eisley Spaceport, but then again, there is a lot you can explore in that level. You just don't need to. But that's for next time. So, well, first we have secret plans. I will see you guys then.